What's your most valuable like figure or thing you have?
Sentinel.
Sentinel?
I ordered 1 year ago at 6:15.
Do you have anything like vintage?
Yeah, though that's not really my thing because I don't believe in collecting for the value. I don't believe in it.
It isn't.
Unless I love it.
I was going to say, I love
If I love
Spider-Man.
it-
If I could get an issue of Amazing Fantasy 15, like an original issue, boy, I would shit bricks.
I love vintage stuff.
I
still,
might piss myself if I saw that for sale in a shop for like some ridiculously low price because they didn't know what they had for some reason. Yeah, I'm gonna wet myself.
So this is about an eighth of the collection that I haven't sold or boxed up to sell.
What a fucking nerd.
Nerd
Talking
and
about
proud.
like if I could find this, I would buy it in an instant.
Nerd and
Fucking
proud.
nerd.
I'd pay for that. Oh, you have one? You fucking nerd. I'd pay good money for
Wow, that's
oh,
crazy.
you got one?
That Galactus is cool. I think I had that.
That Galactus.
I think I had that Galactus.
That Galactus is only worth a couple $100s.
Oh, I didn't have that Galactus. There's
Well, no.
no way I had a Galactus worth that much.
You couldn't buy it retail. He was a Build-A-Figure. You had to buy like 12 other figures.
Then I had his
that
head.
came with a leg.
I had his head.
Yes.
I think I had like half of him.
Yep.
Because I had a few
Well,
of those.
half of him will sell for around $70 right now.
That's the $400
It's in a box
one.
somewhere.
That's the new one.
As well as, like, I've got a lot of...
that right there is a damn masterpiece of art.
Yeah.
It's got so much, and if it reaches 16,000 backers, he's got a port in his hand where he can hold the different, like Silver Surfer or Nova.
Whoa, with the skull.
It comes with different faceplates. Because there's one storyline where they discovered that Galactus had died and he had been buried under New York, and they found him as a corpse. And then there's a different version, but that looks like the one where he was buried.
I thought he was too big, dude. How would
He
you
could-
bury
he could-
him under
He could
a
change
city?
form.
No,
He's
yeah.
only the form that you perceive him as.
So he also doesn't look like that.
I perceive you as a rubber duck.
No, he doesn't even look like that. We see him as a bipedal, 2 arms, 2
Right.
legs, human face because of us. He's this supreme entity that if he came to a planet that was ran by Skrulls, he'd have green skin, he'd have ridges on his forehead. Nobody knows what he looks like. He's from before the Big Bang, and he was this super smart scientist from a planet of what we would say is giants, these big humanoids. Original story, that's how it was. He was bipedal and all that, and he was a scientist, and he knew that the Big Bang had ended, and the big crush, the big squeeze, the big collapse, the big, whatever
The big pinch.
the big pinch.
Yeah.
That was happening, and he had found a way. So him and some other scientists found a way to escape it, and they barely made it, and they all died except for him. He was
Barely
the-
made it away from the paint.
barely made it, buddy. And he was
He
the
was
lone
that
survivor.
close to the pitch.
He made it through, and there was this entity there waiting for him that was like, "Who do you think you are?
Sup, bitch?
Who do you think you are? Like, only we survive these kind of things. We persist beyond it. You're mortal. You can't." He's like, "I figured out how." And he's like, "Oh, good point, buddy." And they made a deal. He's like, "What if?"
He's just... Shit. Right.
I guess he's got a fucking point, guys.
They merged.
Terry.
They merged into a new being. So Galactus is this half being that has persisted beyond the Big Bang, has always existed, mixed with this guy that survived the last Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big whatever.
Yeah.
And it formed Galactus. So he has all the memories and powers of the entity, and he's got all the memories and technological, like scientific knowledge of the guy that survived it, and it created Galactus. When he presents himself, he likes to be able to walk around a planet. So he presents himself as like 28 feet, something, or almost 29, like 28 feet 9 inches.
Walk
or
around the
whatever.
planet in a swift 3 weeks.
That's how he's perceived when he lands on a planet, and that's what they're building. The Galactus that the Fantastic Four first saw when he landed, his first time he was ever in Marvel Comics,
Right.
was a Fantastic Four comic.
Uh-huh.
That they're building that height version because it's a 6-inch scale. So a 6-inch figure is representative of a 6 foot tall. It's called 112. It's a 112 ratio, 112 scale. So he's in scale to be 29 feet tall. Which, because the scale is slightly off, they made him 32 inches to represent a 29 foot tall entity. And he is miraculously sculpted.
Another fun fact about Galactus is he used to be herald to a guy who ate universes. So
I thought Galactus was the
Galactus eats planets, and he was a.
Oh,
so what Silver
excuse
Surfer
Devourer.
is to Galactus? Galactus was to a
Right.
dude who ate universes.
right.
So that's a fun little fact.
Yeah.
And not a majorly known comic. So good job, man.
Yeah.
This guy knows Marvel, and I'm always marveled at what he does know because he's more DC.
You didn't have to
I
do
am
that.
funny.
Stop.
At least you
Oh,
don't have to
God.
work with it constantly.